That's a very fancy hotel. These types of hotels here are they seem to develop troubles literally from day to day. They run fine one day, and then already this one is concerned about crime, so this will probably be our business before tomorrow. I've bulldozed so many of these hotels. Anyway, back to my main objective here, the casino. Since the last time, I added another runway here, and I thought yesterday that I'd really got this thing, you know, I thought I'd got it pegged, but earlier today I was back in this town, and this was losing money again. It was losing a fortune, and at the moment it seems to be doing okay. Although today it's not making a profit yet. The figure we're being given here is actually yesterday's, but it is, well, it's quite late in the day, so it may well be that we're going to go back to losing again. In terms of the high wealth people, well, once again they seem to have deserted us. If I go into you can see there's hardly any. Since yesterday I have put this thing. This is the Sydney Opera House, and you can see that this thing, when you hold a concert here, you need to get a lot of high wealth people, and it seems to be doing very well here. It's going to make a profit. This was also a very hard thing to get to work properly, the opera house, because if you don't get high wealth Sims coming here, you will make a loss. But as you can see at the moment, it seems to be doing pretty good. Unfortunately, although you would imagine that perhaps when this concert is finished, all these high wealth people might perhaps on their way back drop in to this place, but they don't actually. They go straight home. So this building, the opera house, doesn't seem to have much effect on this. I just put the opera house in after I finished my episode yesterday, and I put this thing in as well, which this is the expo center, and I'm going to schedule the rock concert. This is really doesn't attract any high wealth Sims. It's all medium low wealth. The other thing I wanted to say is that the reason this thing is very difficult to what time is it? I have a feeling when the clock here goes past midnight, we may be back to making a loss, because today we're making a huge loss. We did make a profit yesterday. I don't know why it's fluctuating like that. No idea. But one of the reasons anyway that it is very difficult to maintain a profit is because the expenses here, the expenses are very, very high. It's costing nearly 9,000 simoleons an hour to run this place. So you need to earn a hell of a lot of money to make a profit out of that. You have to get well past the 8,000 an hour rate. Now the sleek casinos, their expenses an hour are a lot less. They're under 3,000, so it's easier to make a profit here. And I don't know what these are the very small gambling houses. Their expenses are obviously 545, so you can make a profit pretty quickly here. So that's really one of the reasons why this is so difficult. you need to be, it needs to be kind of full all the time. And where are we now? We're nearly at 11. You can see at the moment there's just so many. I mean, I don't have a single high wealth tourists spending the night. And I've hardly got any medium wealth. And in terms of just gambling, again, it's got lots of medium but no high wealth. But the good thing is that in spite of the fact that I have turned on all the other casinos, because you might remember I had all those. Well, that one's making a loss. I had all these other casinos turned off. I got 4 of them, and that seemed to work. But as I was playing this earlier on, and even now I'm making a loss, but earlier on I was making a huge loss, so I decided I've got to make some money or I'm going to go bankrupt. So I turned on all the other casinos, and I was wondering if that would mean that this was completely going to become a huge liability. But yesterday it made a profit. We're going to see in a few minutes here, but I think pretty sure that today is a huge loss. And you can tell by looking, there isn't any high wealth people, the only people seem to go there are the people from here, the airport. And sometimes you get the odd car coming from wherever. But it really, the tourist thing really is quite tricky. And it may be to do with the town itself. The town is having a lot of problems with burning buildings and problems with rubbish being collected and various things. So I'm about to go into another day here when this hits midnight. There we go, and then if I go here, you see that. There we go. So it's given me basically yesterday what it did yesterday, and yesterday it made a huge loss. The day before made a profit, but yesterday huge loss. So although I was quite confident about that thing yesterday and in the last episode, I'm not confident. This is quite annoying. All of these cars are high wealth sims. They're all coming out from this concert which is over. And look at that. Oh, well, actually some of them seem to be going in here. Oh, that's a surprise. That didn't happen. Why isn't this going up? Well, I see lots and lots of high wealth sims going in, but I don't see I don't see this moving. Well, that's fantastic. They've all gone in there. Or am I? No. Well, that looks like it might be actually a bit of a problem. A bit of a bug or something, because I mean nearly every single car that came from the concert has gone into this hotel. That's about 800. Let's see if these go in as well. Look at that, every single one of them. That's about 900 people. It should be about 900 people. And yet I'm getting 10. And, well, this has gone up a lot. That's 79 people are staying the night. So maybe this is the guests, and the guests staying, it doesn't really tell you whether the guest is high wealth or medium wealth. I'm guessing, because definitely it's given me a much better figure here than here. Here it says 11, and here it says 11. So 11 high wealth tourists are gambling, I guess, and 78 are spending the night. That's 252 hotel guests, which is these two figures. And this is the medium wealth guys. It's still a bit weird that I've got all these high wealth guys spending the night, and yet the figure is you would think that they're spending the night in the very fancy penthouse suites up here, so the hotel should be making a bit of a profit now, you'd think, from all these wonderful guests, and yet it doesn't seem to be. But still, that's interesting, because the last time, as far as I remember, everybody just drove straight past. Nobody went in to stay the night, so that's kind of something. Still making it. Well, this loss is that's for yesterday. Today's loss so far is 10,000. And we're very early in the day. Yeah, it's really difficult to know what the hell's going on with this place now. Here's lots of cars coming from somewhere, and they are going to gamble. I guess it makes sense. If a guy comes in and gambles and he's got lots of money, he may end up leaving a hell of a lot more in the casino than the guy who's just going to come in and spend the night in the hotel. That makes sense. Anyway, the other thing that's quite strange is that it's nighttime. The town here has got quite a lot of casinos and the expo center, and there's quite a lot of tourists. I can actually tell you how many. Yesterday we had 11,000 tourists. Today has just started, so we'll probably be somewhere close to that when the day is finished. But for a town with reasonably fair amount of tourists, money-wise it's doing pretty awful. I think that's because of the price to keep the police, for instance, is, and in spite of the high cost of the police, we're still having a bit of a crime wave. I've got a police precinct, police station. I'm pretty sure I've got a police precinct somewhere as well, which is a big building with there it is, helicopters and 28 police cars. I'm not sure what they're all doing, because you'd think they'd be able to handle the situation a little better than they're doing. Education, not doing too good either. So the town itself is not doing my nice hotel here is still going. That's good, because you can see over here that's vacant now, hiring, but here I've just continually been bulldozing things here. like this, these two. And they say not enough freight, which is a bizarre thing for a hotel. Surely the freight would be the people. But I may have been unlucky in picking the one place, the one town, to put the elegant hotel. And this is the one place that doesn't seem to be connected to everything. It just seems to be connected to here. And I can tell that because there's a constant stream of traffic coming across. But it would be much better if, if this was directly connected with here. But what the hell? Just let me have one more look at this place. It's doing so well so far here. I kind of wish I'd put the maybe that's something I could try later on, is actually I perhaps should have put the elegant hotel in here, because I've got quite a lot of high wealth people living here. I've got a big bunch of them here, and I've got a big bunch of them in the other corner over here. And I've got a pretty good road system and lots of space. But at the moment, for a place that's growing so quick, besides the fires, it seems to be doing quite well in other respects. Is it early in the day? Well, this should go up. But I am starting to struggle a little bit now with education. But I think that figure should hopefully get a lot higher than that. That's not too bad, I guess. That's very good. The bins are... my god, why are the bins not being collected? Now that's something... It says there's no more capacity. I've noticed, and that's why I'm getting all these fires. I've noticed that before. And what we do here is we put these things in. They're incinerators. And the idea behind these things is that they burn all the waste. But again, I think there might be a problem with these, because they don't seem to be working. They should be turning around and there should be smoke coming out of them. So that's... yeah, they're definitely not working, the incinerators. Well, that explains why this is going to go very quickly downhill if I don't do something. Oh dear God. I'm gonna just have to deal with this. I'm going to oh, it's on fire. I'm gonna have to just make some space, I think, very quickly, and put some kind of temporary stuff in. I mean, a temporary dump zone. I've really never bothered with this before, because I've always used the incinerators and they work really well. You don't have to bother with all this stuff. Can I... let's see if I can... I'm knocking down an awful lot of that. Oh, that was a waste. Just one. If you don't collect the rubbish in Sims, two things happen. One thing is that the rubbish, it lies around and eventually it starts causing fires everywhere. And I was wondering why I was having so many fires. That was the reason. That's the first thing. And secondly, it causes all kinds of sicknesses. It's ironic because I was just about to say how well this place was doing, and how I'd been working. We would call it work. I'd been, working on this place for the last hour or so, and I'd had absolutely no problems with it. It was just growing and growing and growing without any problems at all. That problem with the dumps is obviously a bug. I've never seen that before, that the incinerators didn't work. Anyway, there we go. We see lots of people going off this way to here. Anyway, I'm going to go back to Everval. Oh, the other thing that I was thinking of trying, I won't do it now as I'm filming because it's a kind of long process, was I'm going to put some people in here, and then I was thinking of trying to construct the international airport here. It says if you construct the international airport, you will get lots of tourists. But the only problem, I think, again, is that I've picked the wrong town. Because if you look at the international airport here, which would be here, you know, the roads is going directly to here and here. It's going directly to these two places, and I know this goes to here. But you would imagine that if all the tourists arrive here, they're going to go here. Or they're going to go here, and they may or may not go all the way around to here. So it might be an idea to transport the hotel and the tourism industry from here to here. So I'm just going to go back here for a last look before I say adios. To make the great work, the international airport, as with any of those great works, it is very time consuming. I'll have a look at it here. You've got to send, first of all, it costs $1 million to get the license to build it. And you can see, can I not do that without? Anyway, you can see that the construction resources are 2,000 tons of metal, and I kind of know from experience that takes a hell of a long time to produce and send. Also, you need 250,000 barrels of crude oil, which again can take forever to. You have to find a place with the oil, drill the oil, and then with the oil, because you can kind of produce it pretty quickly out of the ground, but the problem is if you're taking your oil from over here, you've got to transport it all the way, and God knows where the road is. It could be all the way like that through to get to here. And if the roads are as busy as they seem to be from here to here, for instance, with all the traffic coming, all your lorries full of metal and lorries full of alloy, they get stuck in the traffic. So on many occasions I've spent literally, the entire night just waiting for shipments to get from here, let's say, all the way to here. So I may still try that, but it is something that can take a bit of time. And if you spend a long time building this and then it has absolutely no effect whatsoever, that can be kind of disappointing. When you've gone through all the trouble, to do something, and it has absolutely no effect. I like the look of this. It's not in the best place, but the opera house here, it really is, looks nice. At 5 o'clock in the morning. Just get a screenshot. And then I guess I can call it a day for this episode. Oh, excellent. My beautiful hotel is still going strong. Still concerned about crime. I wonder if I was to put a police station, a small one right here, even knocking down a place. Would that make you happy? It's such a nice hotel. I'd like to see it stay there, if possible. Kind of crazy. I've got so many. I've got so much policemen around here. You'd think I wouldn't be having any kind of a problem with crime, anyway. So we lost a lot of money yesterday. We're doing no better today. The only thing that although I was going to say it might be an idea to do another opera, because that got me a lot of wealthy people who spent the night here, but it didn't really make a lot of money. This seems to be doing a little better, but to be honest, when things are like this and there's no opera, and I don't have any other event that would attract high-wealth people, it seems that sometimes the only way that the high-wealth people come is from the airport. That's, as I watched this yesterday, that was for quite a while, that was the only place I was seeing any of these guys. So there we go. On that note, I think I should say adios for now, and I shall carry on off screen for a while and see what happens, and I will see about the international airport. So until next time, adios.